So hi, as promised, I was going to do a little review on the Battistella Vaporbaby that I bought back in February, I think it was, I just wanted to start the video whilst the boiler was heating up, so that you can hear how loud it is. And as you can hear, it's actually very quiet. It's not overly noisy. At the moment I've got the tank about 3/4 capacity full, and it takes on average, I would say, between 3 to 5 minutes to heat up the tank fully before the steam pressure is ready to use. I don't know if you can see on the camera, but it's got on the front there, you'll see there's a little dial, and when it reaches 3 bar, it's ready to use. And as you can hear now, the steam light has come on, which tells me that the steam is ready to use. You can use this iron with just the heat setting without the steam setting turned on at all, in which case it heats up super fast. The iron is literally ready to use within about 30 seconds or less. It's very, very quick. And what I wanted to show you briefly before I go on to a little demonstration was this setting here, and it allows you to adjust the steam that you have. So you can either have more steam or less steam pressure depending on what you need for your garments. At the moment I think it's on a medium setting, and obviously this is where you fill with the water. It's a beautiful iron. Honestly, I can say after using it now for a few months, it really is a very good investment, and it really does work very well indeed. As you can see on the iron itself, it's very, very heavy, beautifully made, and very, very easy to use. It comes also with a sole plate, which I think I showed you in my first video. I showed you the sole plate. So without saying too much more about it, I just wanted to give you a quick demonstration. So I'm just going to move that to one side, just there, and put out my little ironing mat. And just a couple of things I wanted to show you, give you an idea of how it does. So here we have a cotton tea towel, and first of all I'm going to give this a go without using any steam. You can see this part here is without steam. Very, very quickly becomes nice and smooth. It's very thick fabric actually, this, so it's not actually always necessary to use the steam because it's such a powerful iron. But obviously with the steam, I'll show you quickly. As you can see, when I press this button, literally you need to prime it by turning it upside down, pressing it a couple of times. You can see the power of the steam that really gets out of that. You only need to use it in short bursts, so little bits. You can obviously sort of press and glide, but it really, really does get every crease out. It's very powerful, and it really does pump out a lot of steam. So you only need a small amount of steam, and then to go over that area, and you'll find that the creases just melt out. Okay, so there you go. So as you can see there, with the steam, it is a little bit better. Where it's really edges, where it tends to be difficult sometimes on tea towels to stop them from rolling, you can see there with the steam, it just beautifully pristine and very well ironed. So I'm going to show you something else as well. I thought some of you might like to know, before I move on, might like to know what specifications it has. So it's got a 2.2 litre tank, and it holds 1.4 litres working capacity, so it will last for around about 2 hours before you need to refill it. Pretty much solid ironing. As you can see, it's very powerful, and the boiler power is 1150 watts, but it's got a total power of 1950 watts, so it is actually quite a powerful iron. And the steam pressure that it produces is 2.8 bar, so again quite a strong steam pressure, quite powerful. One thing you will find, and this may help you if you're looking into buying a semi-industrial steam iron, and I actually found this quite surprising. I didn't think about it initially, but when I was looking into buying one of these, I was initially going to get a gravity fed iron, and I know that they're very popular in America, and I've seen lots of people using them and they look fantastic. But then when it came to finding one, I couldn't find one over in the UK, and I was thinking, this is strange. Why are there none over in the UK? And it turns out that the power supply, obviously, in the UK and the US is very different. So it's not necessary to have a gravity fed iron over here, because the power supply over here is a bit stronger. The irons that we tend to have over here are they have tanks, so they don't need that extra pressure and strength that you get from a gravity fed. So because this iron here is almost 2000 watt, from what I learned, the American power supply is not quite strong enough to support these irons, hence the need for the gravity feed to give that extra sort of oomph to the steam pressure. Whereas in the UK, the tanks, or the irons that we are supplied over here, tend to have the tanks instead, because the power supply is strong enough to provide enough pressure with the steam as it is, without the need for any extra gravity to help with that. So something to bear in mind if you are looking for a professional or semi-professional steam iron, is to double check that the power supply in your country will support it first, because you could end up making an expensive mistake and buying a machine that actually you know, is either too powerful for your power supply, or unnecessarily buying a machine when you could have bought something perhaps elsewhere that would be more suited to your needs. So something to think about. Anyway, I was going to show you something else, and that's some linen, and I'll just show you briefly how this goes with the linen. Firstly, without any steam, this is ironing really well, and I haven't mentioned this actually, but I have actually been using this on the wool setting, and it's doing a very good job to the linen on the wool setting. Obviously if I had it on the cotton setting, it would have been even stronger again, but you can see, look, that's on the wool setting and it's already ironed beautifully. I mean, even the other side is nicely ironed. Wool setting with steam, let's see what that's like. You do have to watch your fingers with these irons because the steam is so strong and it does come out so fast. You don't want to get your fingers in the way, believe me. I've only done it once, and it's very painful. But as you can see there, I mean, this is just, oh, it's beautiful to use. It just, and as you know, linen does have a tendency sometimes to be quite tricky to iron. But as you can see, I don't know if you can see that, but it irons the creases out absolutely beautifully, smoothly on the cotton setting. And even the other side is pretty good there, but on the highest setting, it probably wouldn't even need ironing on the other side. So there you go. So that's a little bit of the linen. And finally, now this is something I haven't actually tried at all, but I wanted to see what it's like to actually steam, help the creases to drop out of something light like this with steam. See if actually it does make a bit of a difference. And it's not on a garment, so it's a bit of a pain. We'll just give it a go, we'll just give it a blast, and we'll just see if it does help. So this is actually silk tulle, or silk net, and actually already I can feel it's softened it slightly, and does actually appear to have actually helped the creases to drop out. I mean, I think if it was on a garment it would be even better, because it, you know, you'd be able to have it on the garment and actually see it, but you can see the section that I've done there compared to some of the other sections. So I actually think that's going to be quite effective to kind of steam and then just gently sort of pull those creases out. So we'll try that again. I'm going to give this a blast with steam and see what we can do. Probably better against the surface, to be honest, but I can see actually already that those creases, some of those creases have really dropped down. That section there that I've done, you can see that already that's kind of really helped it, because it's such a delicate material, this silk tulle. It really has helped it to drop out there. So that's really, really good. So let's just try it on another bit. Let's just try it on a really crumpled section like this. Let's try there. So I'll lay that one down. Give that a blast of the steam. This actually blows it away because of the power of the steam. It actually blows it, but I'll try and hold it still. And yeah, I could definitely see there, right in front of my eyes, as I blasted that crumpled bit, the steam has helped the crumples to drop straight out of that silk tulle in that section there. Really, really does do it straight away. And we can see with, let's try it again. It's better when you do it on the ironing board, but we'll try it again. Again, you can see it's improved, but definitely a lot better if you lay it down. So you can imagine if you had a Victorian garment which was going to be difficult to iron, with lots of delicate trim like this, how useful that would be to be able to blast it with steam and just let the creases just drop out. And I would imagine it would work on any light fabrics, perhaps not the heavier fabrics, but there you go. So hopefully that will give you an idea of how it could be used for that kind of thing. So it's only a very brief demonstration. I haven't really covered very much, but I hope that it'll give you some idea of what the iron is like to use. There is only one con I can really think about with this iron, and that is that it can be a bit of a pain sometimes. So if I bring this up just to show you, it's got the advantage of having a little rubber plate which you can move wherever you want. You can either put down on here to rest your iron on, or you can move it to the table or wherever you want it to be, really. The only downside I found with using this iron is that sometimes when you're ironing, the lead will catch the rubber plate and knock it off the top of the iron, which can be a bit frustrating sometimes. It's probably a little bit better when it's on another more grippy surface, but that is something to bear in mind. It can be a little bit annoying sometimes. This lead can be a little bit ungainly sometimes and kind of get in the way a little bit, and it can occasionally catch a little bit on the corners of the machine. So really that's the only downside I can think about this iron, but if you have any questions or anything else that you'd like to know about the iron, please feel free to write a comment down below, and I'll do my best to answer those. And I hope that has helped you to maybe decide if this is the sort of iron for you or not, or at least give you an idea of how it works. So anyway, yeah, thanks. I hope you've enjoyed watching, and see you again soon.